right, so I want to have a little chat, and this is a little different from things that I usually talk about. My hair is, yeah, my hair's doing good, y'all. Yes, she's doing well. Anyway, not to get too distracted, but I just kind of want to talk about spirituality because I noticed that my energy is as just different lately. And when I say different, I mean in a good way. Almost like I'm being restored to my normal self, but a better version of myself. And I say that because it was a couple of years ago when I was sitting at Spirit of Truth in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I was at a weekly Bible study session, which I usually went to. I tried to go every Wednesday, and I would catch the bus after work to get there, and it would take me probably an hour, hour and a half sometimes to get there. But that was my retuning, and then I would catch the bus an hour or 2 hours to get back home. But I enjoyed it. It meant it meant a lot to me. Like it just felt right. It just felt right. And so now I'm sitting here today, and I just realized that when he was preaching a sermon 3 years ago in February, 3 years ago in February, and he was preaching, or not preaching, but he was teaching us about restoration. He was teaching us about forgiveness. He was teaching us about how to like let go of things, how to move forward, and how to just sow good seeds into life. Then I thought that he meant that I needed to go and restore the broken relationships that I had with people that I fell out with over small things. And that was just how limited my thinking was at that time. I didn't see the big picture, so to speak. But today, it's like I said, aha. And I said, aha, because when I was sitting there and when he was breaking down the Bible to us and when he was going over his study guide and when he was giving us homework assignments and when he was giving us books to read, he was prepping me so that I can be restored, but be restored to myself. Because I was so broken. At that time, I was dealing with a lot of things. I mean, it hadn't been that long. Well, my mom had passed away the day before Thanksgiving in 2008, and ever since the moment that she died, a part of me, a big part of me had became empty and void, and every day, everyday life just became a struggle for me. And I I became I became deeply depressed. I was so depressed. I didn't even know if I was coming or going. I didn't care about anything. I couldn't even take care of my own child properly because I just didn't have it in me. I felt so broken. And at that time, I was staying with my sister in law and her 3 kids with my son. And I had just moved out of another house with one of, she was a lifelong friend. And, she was married to one of my step cousins. And we were like sisters the majority of our lives. We were really, really close. I mean, we had a really wonderful relationship, but I don't know what happened, but I guess moving in with each other destroyed our relationship. I can't really speak for her because she's never really opened up to me about what she was feeling or what she was going through. But I know that for me, I was going through a lot. I was in this relationship with this guy, and I loved him, and the more that I loved him, the more things he did to test my love. And that was back in 2008. Or no, I'm sorry, in 2013. But, so I was homeless. I was severely depressed. I was drinking a lot. I was being mentally abused, emotionally abused, and I just couldn't get right. I was doing things that I had never done before, and I just became like a fraction of myself, and it was a really difficult time. And to help me cope with those things, I actually turned to food. You know, food became my refuge. It became my king. Food became my king. Food became my best friend. Food was just everything to me. I mean, I couldn't control anything that happened around me, but I could control what I ate and what I put into my body. I controlled that, and I didn't make the best choices. And as a result of that, I gained more weight, became heavier, became even more depressed because I wasn't happy with the way that I looked, and was just unhappy with the way that I was being treated. I just wasn't happy with my living situation, and I just felt like a failure. I felt like I was just losing in life. Here I am, 36 years old, going on 37 years old, and my life was just a sham. It was just a sham. It was just crazy. And I might cry during this video. And it's okay if I cry. For a long time, I felt like crying would just be a weakness. It made me weak. It made me feel vulnerable. And it just made me feel incapable of what I don't know. These are just some of the false feelings that I was dealing with. I mean, good or bad, right or wrong, it's what I dealt with. It's what I felt at that time. Ooh, gotta get my nose done again. But that's not really what I want to focus on. But just want to give you like a little bit of background to this topic. So while I was going through all of these different things and feeling these negative feelings, and I was at a job that I hated, but I couldn't quit because I needed the money, and I was being harassed continuously by two coworkers, and it was just a mess. It was just a mess. And the only comfort I found was in going to those weekly Bible studies, sitting under Pastor B, learning about the Bible, learning about restoration, learning about forgiveness, learning about love. And today, I was sitting here thinking that my energy is up. Like, I feel good. I mean, I feel better right now today than I have felt in a really long time. And I've been feeling good for a while now. And it seems that the more I feel good on the inside, the more people who I was connected with, who I felt close to, the more negative energy, they tried to give to me. And yesterday I just had a verbal altercation with someone who was really close to me about something that had nothing really to do with me, but something that someone I was connected to. And then I started questioning, and I was being mad, and I was angry. And then I thought, wait a minute. Why are you mad and why are you angry? In that situation, you didn't do anything wrong, so don't. Anyway, sorry about that. I had a phone call. But, my energy has been really good lately, and I'm loving the fact that it's good because I no longer wake up in the morning depressed. I don't wake up in the morning broken. I don't I don't eat well. but I don't eat as bad as I used to. Like, for instance, today I wanted to go to the store and I wanted to get some donuts, the little 75-cent packs of donuts, the chocolate ones. I really wanted some of those, but I was like, no, I didn't. I checked. That's not true. I wanted to go, but only had $3, and I wanted some hot dogs, but only had $3 in cash in my wallet. And so I asked myself, do I really want to walk to the store? And then do I really want to swipe my card for $4 or $5? Is that worth it? Do I really want that bad? And then I was like, no. Then I remembered I have plenty of water here. And then I have some strawberries here. Man, I ate like half the container of strawberries today. They were absolutely delicious. I bought them like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And today they're just so sweet. And I'm like, man, I didn't put any whipped cream on them. Nothing. No chocolate, nothing. I just ate them and they were good. And I'm like, wow. I'm sorry I jump all over the place. But it was really, really good. And then so I had some of those 88-cent noodles. Not the ramen noodles, but you know, the noodles with like the little fancy soy packet sauce or whatever. I had those. And that was good. And I'm like, yeah, that was good. And so I was like, for the next couple of weeks, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat fast food. I don't want to waste any money on food when I have food at home that I can cook. I mean, that's just that. But my point is that because of the seed that was sown in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit 3 years ago, today, I am at peace with myself. Not to be confused with anyone else. I am at peace with myself. I am loving myself today more than I loved myself yesteryear. And I feel good. And now that I'm feeling good, people around me are feeling bad. Or it seems like people around me are starting to take issues with me over things that make no sense whatsoever. And then I have to realize it's not them. It's a spiritual, I forget sometimes that I'm at war spiritually. And I don't understand how I'm able to forget that because I get to feeling okay and I ignore the signs. And yesterday was just a test. Whether I passed or whether I failed, I'm not sure. But it was, I guess I would say, I don't know. Maybe it was a pass for me. Maybe it was. But we'll go into details about that later. Shucks. What do I want to say? Wow. I hate getting sidetracked, you guys. I hate getting distracted because I forget what I'm talking about and then I go on a whole nother different tangent. And I don't edit it out. It's just true. This is just me being true to myself. But as I was saying, like, I'm feeling good about myself. So I feel like I'm at spiritual war with people. And the better I feel about myself, the more love, and the more good energy I have within myself, the more negative energy people outside of me are going to have. But I can't let that put a damper on it because I have to remember where I came through. And so when I was going to Bible study all those nights, when I was catching a bus in a cold, when I was dealing with the miserable situations at work, when I was dealing with the situations that made me uncomfortable and, added to me being the person that I was not, it had a purpose. And its purpose, it did what it needed to do to get me to this point where I'm at today, to make me feel good about myself. And I love myself, y'all. I love myself. I mean, I have people talk about my hair. I don't care about that. They talk about my gap. I don't care about that. I mean, I don't know if they're talking about my weight. I mean, if they are, so be it. Yeah, I've had people talk about my weight. People call me ugly. They call me fat. They call me sloppy looking. They call me a lot of names. They tell me that I have a really big gap in between my teeth. And they say a lot of things about me. But their opinion of me is not going to make or break me. Their opinion of me is not going to change me. Everybody will always tell you that you should be living your life this way, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that, and what I would be doing. And then you look at their lives, and Really look at their lives and say, okay, all of this great advice that you have for me, all of these opinions about the way that I look, what about you? What about you? What is going on in your life that makes your life so much better than mine, you know? I don't have a lot. I ain't gonna lie about it. But guess what? Today, years later, I am in my own place. I am paying my bills. My son has graduated high school. Tomorrow is his last day of his first year in college. Um, I have a nice little vehicle. I'm getting ready to go on vacation in a couple of weeks or whatever. I mean, I had a nice little shopping spree last week and I bought myself birthday gifts. And, I've learned to treat myself well. And because I'm treating myself well, other people look at me treat myself well, and then it makes them miserable. To see me happy makes someone else miserable, which I don't understand. And they don't understand that I was so miserable for so long, that I was so depressed for so long, that I was dealing with so much for so long, that I recently decided to love myself. I recently decided to treat myself well. I was recently restored by the hands of the Most High, spiritually, recently restored and connected to myself. And now I see something that I didn't see, is that to you, I may be fat, I may be sloppy, I may be ugly, I may have ugly hair, I might have a really large gap in my teeth. You might not like my eyebrows or my eyelashes. You might not like my voice. You understand? You may not like my choices. You understand? You may not like my decisions. But in the eyes of the Most High, in the eyes of the Most High, I am perfect just the way I am, and I am restored, and I am redeemed, and I am happy. I'm happy, and I am excited, and I'm good. I feel good with where I am in my life. I am good where I am in my life. I'm okay because the Most High made a way for me to provide for myself and my child, and everything that was dark in my life is no longer a part of my life. It's one more situation that I just have the strength to deal with now, that I'm going to deal with, because it's been time. It's been past time. Yeah, the time has passed, but I'm going to deal with that situation, and then I'm going to put that behind me, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to live my life as a restored woman, spiritually, emotionally, physically intact. You understand? Mentally intact. You understand? And I'm going to feel good. Period. So this video has jumped all around, and I don't know. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what areas of your life that you need to be restored in. I don't know what people say about you. I don't know the issues that you deal with, but just know that a time will come when you too will be restored. Just keep your eyes focused. Keep your mind clear. And don't neglect your prayer life. Don't neglect your spiritual life, which I've been guilty of having, but I haven't really been in the church in a long time. But it's more than that. I haven't picked up my Bible in a long time. I really don't even pray on a regular basis. But today, I remember. I remember what it was like to experience those things. And I'm grateful for where I am today. So I'm going to get back to work. I have a lot of things to get caught up on. But you have a beautiful day. And it's nothing but love for me to you.